guys, this is Deb. So, super excited to share with you guys some old stamp sets with new paper. So this is year 2025, and this is some fruit salad paper that is in the new Sale-A-Bration catalog for January and February. And I was thinking about all the things that we can make with this. There's no stamp set that goes with it, but there have been fruit stamp sets. So I am going to show you a few of those, and then we're going to make cards with them. One, again, old stamp set, is the sweet strawberry. You might have this already in your collection, and if you do, you can use it. Now, if you don't, you can use something else. So, but these are some that have been around. One is Blueberry Blessings. This one, sorry, we're not going to use this one, but I wanted to show it to you in case you have it. You could pair it with this paper. Another one is the Watercolor Melon, and this makes watermelon. So we're going to use that. And then the other one is a citrus paper or citrus stamp set, and it's in the other. I can't believe I forgot it, you guys, but it makes these, I think it might be Zest. I can't believe I forgot, but I stamped these right before we started and cut them out with the die because we're going to use these as well. So we're going to use the brand new paper, but I want to show you several cards plus a 3D project. So let's get started. So the first card we're going to make, we'll actually use those orange slices. And we have a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 8.5 by 4.25. We're going to take this piece here and we are going to cut it down to 4 inches by 5.25. And this is going to be a layer on our card. So these are going to be, oops, I made a little spill there of ink pads. So just another way for you to use some things that you already have. Oh, we need to cut this piece too. So we have our Very Vanilla. This is Granny Apple Green. We have some orange slices, which were stamped on Very Vanilla as well. And then we have our piece of cardstock. So we're going to cut this down into a couple strips here. Okay. So we are going to cut it in, let's do 1.5. I was going to do 3 1-inch. You know what? Let's do 3 1-inch strips. We'll do that. So we're going to cut them at 4 inches. Okay. Let's see. Nope, that's 4 inches. I'm sorry. We're going to cut them at 3 3/4 inches. I'll get there. Kind of winging it a little bit here. And then we're going to do nope. You know what, you guys? I was wrong. We want to do, because this is 5.25 by 4. Hello. So we are going to actually do 5.25. Duh. Or actually 5. We're going to do 5 inches. I will get us there. 5 inches. And then we're going to do 3 1-inch strips. So there we go. 3 1-inch strips. Here, let me get this down a little bit. All right. So 5 by 3 1-inch strips. All right, there we go. We're keeping them simple, but hopefully we're going to add a lot of good color. So we have this piece of Granny Apple Green. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our 3 strips that we have here, and we're just going to line them up here. Oops. The opposite ends like that. So we have some that are inside and some that are outside there. And now we are going to glue these down. Just like that. All right. So, and we're going to use some snail adhesive. I normally do not use this, but I thought, you know, we'll switch things up a little bit. All right. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a larger margin on the outside there, but we're going to go down because we only have a little bit of space, and then we'll come over here. We're going to get that same amount of space on the other side. So again, add our adhesive and bring that in. Now I do want to make sure, I want to make sure that I have that the same kind of level at the top and bottom. Now the other thing you guys could do as well is make it so that it's kind of like angled. We're going to do that with one of the cards as well. All right. But you can see then I have the lines a little bit closer together. But by doing these at 1 inch, I can now get 2 cards out of 1 piece of designer series paper. So if you like to be able to create one, give one away, and then save one, you know, you can do that as well. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece right here, and we are just going to adhere it to our cardstock. But before we do, we are going to go ahead and stamp a greeting. And the well said is the greetings I typically would use, but I have this thank you in this pack right here. Oops, at least I thought I had the thank you. See, this is what sometimes happens, right? You use these stamp sets and then they get a little, they kind of get used and then get misplaced. That is interesting. I'm going to have to find that because I do not typically lose a greeting. Okay, so that's okay. So we're just going to use hello there, and I'm going to stamp it kind of down over here along the side. So we're going to take our Memento Black. Now, I recorded a video, and I'm going to show this to you guys. I actually made this into a black ink pad. So I recorded it, and so I just need to get that over to everybody. So I'm going to just pop that right down there. Oops. I didn't quite stamp that quite hard enough. I think I was being a little too gentle. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work either, did it, you guys? All right, you know what? Let me clean this, and we're going to do that one more time. Only, again, this is photopolymer, so I should have had my foamy pad underneath, right? So let's just stamp that again and stamp it down here. There we go. All right. So we're going to fix our mistake, right? So we could have gotten a new piece of paper, but this is perfect. You know, this is we'll all learn how we can cover this up, right? All right. So here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our piece that we have here, and we are going to adhere this directly on to our piece of to our layered cardstock there. You know, it's so funny. I always think I can kind of get by. Oh, I don't really need to put that, you know, under there. And hello, I did. All right, and now I have some twine here. So this is what we're going to use. We're going to kind of keep these, again, pretty simple, these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap some twine around here. And let me cut this, and then we will tie a nice bow here. Get it around a couple times, and let's tie that right into a nice little knot or bow. Sometimes I have to make this tight enough to where you almost bow the edges. And then seemingly, so funny, I was making some cards earlier and I was just like really struggling. I don't know why with that whole bow process, but there we go. And this is just a little long. Now you guys can see it's a little loose. So what I'm actually going to do is turn this over and put a little bit of this Stampin' Seal here, and I'm just going to kind of bunch it up right there. There we go. And then that will make this, you can see, a little tighter. All right. So now what we're going to do, because we need to cover this up because that looks bad, right? So we're going to take our nice little slice of orange and we're going to put that right over that spot first. That's going to be our first piece of fruit. Now, if you guys do not have this particular set, right? Because remember, this is retired and old. You could totally skip that. You could put a yellow flower here. And we all know we all have a flower set, right? We all have a flower set somewhere. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take this piece here and maybe one over here, and we're going to pop those two up on dimensionals. And this one, I really don't need. I might put it on the inside, actually. Maybe we'll do that. We'll leave that one for the inside. All right, so let's grab our dimensionals here. And we are down to, we have more, but we're down to some little pieces here. All right, and let's go ahead and put ones on this one too while we're right here. All right, set those off. And move these over. And I think these are great. I mean, because honestly, you could send this to anybody, you know, because it's very cheery. It's a very cheery looking card, I think. And it's just hello there, although the goal was a thank you note, so I just want to be, you know, fair. That was the plan, is a thank you note. So I think what I'm actually going to do is put that kind of right, if I can, right in between. There we go. So that is the front. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in our card. Oops, our card base. And we'll just burnish this end here and adhere this right to the front of our card. So again, just 3 strips, 1 inch in size, and it's on a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 Granny Apple Green. And look at that. There is our nice little fruity card. I love it. Okay, we'll put this on the inside. So the fun just continues. And again, if you did not have this right here, the other thing I would probably do is maybe just put a little strip in here of some sort as well. So you could put just a strip of paper here if you didn't have the orange. I think I've showed you guys that before. Just cut this at an angle and then you can just tag it right at the top. So maybe we'll do that on another card. All right, that is our first card. Then our second card, let's do this one. Make sure I've got a nice clean space here. We are going to use Real Red, and we are going to use this piece of Designer Series paper. Super adorable. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get some of this out of our way here so we have a little bit more of a clean spot here. All right, so first thing we need to do is we are going to score this at 4 1/4. Okay. And again, the goal is simple. So we're not looking to do anything too crazy. So for this one, we are going to cut our designer paper first at 5 1/4. Okay. So we're going to take this strip off, and then we are going to cut a piece that is 3, let's do 3 3/4 as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make 3 3/4, and then we're going to cut this down to 1 1/2. So we have this piece here that is 2 1/4, and this piece that is 1 1/2. And then we're going to take our piece of real red here, and we're going to create a layer. So we're going to make this 4 inches. By 5 1/4, which it's already 5 1/4. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of layer these up. And then what we're going to do is we are going to make the top part green here. And I think I'm going to have to, I think that piece may have been just a tad bit shy of 4 inches. So I'm just going to take these and cut those down just a tad here. Or I'm sorry, 5 1/4, yeah. I think those may have been just a little bit. So actually I'm going to make these 5 inches, not 5 1/4. So my bad. All right. I'm going to have to go back now and edit those. All right. So we are going to use these 2 pieces of beautiful cardstock. Let me get this out of the way. And we are just going to layer these right on top of each other. So we see those beautiful layered watermelons. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. We're going to adhere those down in just a minute. But now what we're going to do is we are going to make a watermelon to use as our actual piece here. So I'm actually going to use just this one stamp here, which is shaped like a watermelon. Now, if any of you have that oval punch, it literally punches this out. I do not have it, but that's what you would use. I'm also going to use the garden green, and we are just going to stamp this right on this piece of white cardstock. Oops, here we go. And I'm going to put it right about there, I guess. Look at that. Aww. Again, if you don't have this particular set from long ago, you can actually, we're going to use let's use black again for our greeting, because we're just going to use hello there again. And I am going to check something here, because I think I'm going to use a punch for this one to cut this, or to take this out. But I just want to make sure. Yeah, that's going to be not quite enough. Yep. So I think we're just going to hand cut this. So that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually put our greeting further down, and we're going to trim that. We're going to trim that out. So let me get our black stamp pad again here. Oops, there we go. And we are just going to add hello there. Oops. Right here. Oh, let's see if I can do this now, because I just remembered. Oop, there we go. Oof. I really inked that up yesterday. So I might have to let that soak in a little more. All right, so let's clean that off right now, because that is pretty thick. All right. And then let's clean this other one here just to keep our workspace clean. All right, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this out and then we're gonna cut around. We're doing a little fussy cutting here, which if any of you guys know, that is so not my thing, fussy cutting, but that's okay. This will now just cut at an angle here and we will put that right up against our border. And then this little guy, super easy to cut out. We're just gonna go give it a very, very slight white border all the way around. So just keep it real close to the edge. Move your paper more than your scissors. That will help you get a nicer, even cut, because your scissors stay pretty much the same. And then it allows you to, I'm working around a little bit of a big piece of paper here. We'll get that around. So any of you guys who know me, right, or watch this very often, I do not fussy cut a lot because I am not really great at it. I have actually looked at some people's stuff lately and I'm like, oh wow, look how cute that is. And there's no dies for it. And they are super good at fussy cutting. Okay, that is not me. That is not me. All right, so there we go. So let's look at this one really quickly here. Let's put this together. And again, what fun paper this is. And again, you guys can earn this paper when you place a $60 order before tax and shipping. So you get the paper free. So if you want cardstock or adhesive or even kits, maybe if you're thinking about Easter or Valentine's Day, next week or this week I should say, because it's Sunday here, we are going to be doing some Valentines for sure. All right, you know what, you guys, I'm gonna restamp this hello there because it looks so smushed. So let me just, I love this one, just happens to be right here, but I love both these ink pads. But let me just get my mat back in here and then I can stamp this like it should be. There we go. That just looks, I think, a lot better. Let me just do another one just in case, because we're going to probably need it later anyhow, right? Oh boy. All right. I think it looks slightly better. This one does. The other one, I'm not sure I don't know why, but I think it looks a little less than. All right, there we go. We'll just set that off to the side. Okay, here we go. We have our card base. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our, this right here, and we're just going to attach that right to our card. Oh, let's see. You know what? Before we do that, you guys, sorry, and we might put that on dimensionals now. I do want to put some twine around here because, right, we want to kind of get a nice little, and this twine goes super well with this watermelon. I think it's so versatile. And this is one that you guys probably all want to have somewhere in your craft space, for sure. For sure, for sure. All right, let me just wrap that around, get a nice tight bow here. There we go. Trim that off. There we go. All right. Now, I think I'm going to end up putting all this on dimensionals because I want to go over that piece of the piece of twine there. So we'll just pop those up. We'll put our watermelon right here. And then we're going to take this guy right here and we're going to actually put it up on dimensionals as well. Oops. So it already has some sticky on there, but that's okay. It'll, this will pop it up and I think that's going to make it look a little bit better for sure. All right. So we want it to line up right on the edge there. It's okay if it overlaps. Look at that. It looks beautiful. And now we're going to adhere it right here to the front of our card. And that will be card number 2. So there we go. So again, just, you know, a fun way to maybe pull out some of those old stamp sets that you have, but have this super cool paper to use with it. All right, so there is our second card. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a 3D project, and then we're going to go to our final card, which is some fruit paper. All right. And I was trying to think if I showed you guys this one. I don't think so because it wasn't with the strawberries. Okay, so here we go. This has just some score lines in it, and it is going to make a super cute treat box. So what I'm going to show you how to do is to make the box itself, and then I'm going to show you one that is finished. All right. So the first thing you need to do, this piece of paper has no direction to it, but if you use a directional piece of paper, this first score line needs to be what you would consider the bottom of your paper. All right. So if it's directional, you want it to be at the bottom. So let me show you one because I did this one incorrectly. So this paper has a direction to it, right? The little mushrooms are going this way. Well, when I did it, I did my first score line here. Well, this is the bottom of the box. So the bottom of my item. So if I did it like it's supposed to, right, everything is upside down. So if it has direction, just remember this first score line needs to be at the bottom of your paper. All right, so our first score line is going to be at, I'm going to check my measurements, 1 3/8. So 1, 2, 3/8. Let me get this in here just in case you guys want to see that. All right, so the first score line is 1 3/8. And then that's the only one we do on that side. Then you're going to rotate your paper and you're going to rotate it so the score line you just did is toward the top. Okay. So the first score line we're going to make again is 1 3/8. But this time you are only going to make your score line from the top to that first score line you just made. So I'm only going to score it right to that first score line. Okay. Then I'm going to go to 2 3/4, and I'm going to score all the way down my paper this time. And remember, this is designer paper, so you don't want to go too crazy. Then I'm going to go to 4 1/8. And again, I'm only going to go to the first, oops, oh yikes. I'm only going to go to that first score line. So I have a little cut in there, but that's okay. I'm just making all kinds of little errors. Then we're going to go to 5 1/2, and we are going to score the entire way down again. All right, there we go. All right, you guys, we got through it. Okay, so let me just tell you the score lines again. We have one score line this way that is at 1 3/8. Then we, or 1 3/8. Then we rotated our paper and we did 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8, 5 1/2. Okay. So let's go ahead and kind of burnish our lines here just a little bit. And the only ones we really want to burnish is this first one that has the really small end. And then the rest of them, you can kind of, you know, just push down, but don't go all the way through to where you have these longer lines, okay? All right, so the first thing we have to do is we're gonna cut out this little nub right here. Okay, that's the first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna get rid of that. And then we're literally gonna cut all these lines just up to that first score line. This is like this would be a great little Valentine. If you guys have kids in classes and you've got you've got yourself a pack of designer series paper and some ribbon, this is it. This is all you need right here. Okay, that's it. Now I can do just a little slight nudge out of each one of these if I wanted to. We will just, but you really don't even need to do this, but we'll just take a little bit, okay? All right, so there we go. So now what we're gonna do is now we just adhere. So the first thing we wanna do is we're gonna add some adhesive right along this line here. Now, I am showing this to you, but I would probably use tear and tape maybe, or like Tombow. Okay, so I have that piece. Now I'm gonna literally go to the middle and I'm gonna fold it in half and I'm just gonna seal it closed, just like that. So I've almost created like a little envelope, okay? And now what I'm gonna do is I have these 4 flaps here, okay? So what I'm gonna do now, and I do have some Tombow here. So let me do this because I do want you to see. I'm gonna take my Tombow glue, I'm gonna put it on one of these, fold this one down, put adhesive on this one. And again, you'll wanna go to those edges to make it strong. Fold this one down, and then I'm gonna put some more adhesive right here to get that last flap, fold it down, make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so make sure I'm nice and straight. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna take my bone folder, and now I'm just gonna run it along to push those edges down. That way it's nice and sealed. And now look what I have. I have this super cute treat holder that you can now punch a hole here and decorate the outside. Is that not super adorable? And it's got a nice square box so it stands up. All right, let me show you just the finished one because the only thing left to do is to punch a hole and then, you know, decorate whatever you want to put on the front of it. And just so you know what it holds here, let's see. I've got a little piece of chocolate. Multiples will fit in there. Here's a pack of Skittles. Oh yeah, those like easily fit down in there. You guys see that? So you can take that. Let's see if a little Ghirardelli. That'll, couple those fit in there. Yep, you can put a couple little Ghirardellis. Oh, that's kind of cute. So lots of, and let's see, because a lint is the best. You can easily fit 2 little lint chocolates in there. So whatever you might be giving away at Valentine's, this little guy will hold lots of them. And this is what the finished one looks like right here. So I just took a very small piece of ribbon and tied it in a knot. And there you go. And this just says you're the best. It's got one of the little darling dinos on it. And it's also made out of the fruit paper. So again, same box, super cute, super easy. But that's something else you can do with the fruit paper. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little 3D project there. All right, now we have one more card. And we're going to use this sweet strawberry set. And then we're going to be using this paper here. So this one, of course, has strawberries on it. And this is crumb cake. And I just have a piece of basic black. So again, pretty, we're keeping it simple. And I was trying to think, did I already show you guys this card? So I may have. But let's go ahead and and do this. So we're gonna go and score our paper at 4 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece here and we are gonna do 4 inches by 4 inches. Okay. And then we are going to take and make some strips out of this piece here as well. So for this one, we are going to go to 3 1/2 here. And then we're just going to do, again, 3 strips. Actually, you know what? I might do 4. Actually, as I'm talking to you guys here, I might do 4 of that. All right, here we go. And then for this one, what we're going to want to do is just take our strips here and we're just going to kind of go, you know, a little back and forth on this one. So we're going to show, and we want those strawberries. So this particular piece, right, has lots of little strawberries on it, but that's it. That's all we're going to do. Just keep them. And then we're, let's go ahead and adhere those down. So I might do it, just glue them a little bit different order here. And then we are going to do a little stamping of those. And again, I kind of just want to do, you know, different angles. Of this. And then we're just going to add some fun little stamped strawberries to our card. All right, and then we'll do this one here. All right, and there. Oops. Now I do want to get it so that I have at least a little even from here to here. There we go. All right, so that is kind of our base that we are now going to put directly on our piece of cardstock here. And again, before we do, let's get our twine here and just wrap that around a couple times. And then we will, but you guys could see, I mean, these are some of those cards, right, that you could make in, kind of in stages, you know, cut all your paper first. And then when you're done cutting, then you could, get this around here. So you could cut everything in one, you know, one sitting and then adhere them to the different pieces of cardstock and then maybe stamp your images. So just, again, you could make a lot of cards, give them away as gifts, whatever you might decide to do. So I'm going to actually bow this a little bit and just move this a little bit more over. I think I want this bow to be a little more over to the side. There we go. So that is what it's going to look like. Now let's go ahead and spend a little bit of time stamping some of those strawberries. So let's take, this is a two-step stamp. So we'll get our first one out. You can see they are well loved. All right, so we'll stamp a couple of these. Now, one of the things too for this one is I do have, if you guys remember, this one came with a punch. So this is the punch with the strawberry. So I just have to remember when I punch it, I'm going to punch it down here at the bottom and, oops, let me get up here. There we go. So when I punch it, I want to punch it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up and just stamp it down here. And then we'll do just maybe 2 of these. All right, and then let's stamp the outside, which has all the little berries on it. Now, it has been a hot minute since I've used this, so I think I do this in red as well. So we'll see. I have to remember if this is red, or I think this might be actually, I don't know if it's red or if I do this in black. Yikes, I forgot. Well, we're about to find out. I think it's red. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And if not, we'll say it is, right? Okay. All right, and then let's go ahead and do the green top, okay? Because that will give us, and then that'll be good for our card. So we'll bring in the garden green again here. And this one, when we stamp it, it goes like this as well. So, and that's going to kind of go off to the side here. So we will put that right about here. Oops. We'll do one more. There we go. Okay. And then it has one more. And we'll see if we can fill that in. Yeah, I don't think that was really necessary. I think this is if we do different colors, which we didn't. So, you know what? We're good there. That was my bad. It has been a while. All right, so let's close these up. And now we'll punch these out, our strawberries out first. Oops. We're getting lots of collateral there, I think, with our stamping. All right, there we go. Now, I am going to, oh yeah, I think I can stamp this one first. Or punch it first. And then punch another one. So, there we go. And then let me just kind of cut around this here a little bit. Let's see if we can pop that one in. And then we'll have a little bit of stuff to kind of clean up here. Oops. So typically, guys, when you're using these punches, you'll want to cut strips is always good. But to be really honest with you, I just kind of forgot. All right. There we go. Whew. Here we are. All right, so let's get out the pieces that we need, which are our 2 strawberries. Everything else, we'll put that off to the side. I guess I'm glad we saved this one for last, right? Because we have ourselves a little mess here, don't we? All right, so we're just going to take, oops, wrong piece. There we go. We're just going to take these and put them right on top of those strawberries, and we will use a glue dot. You can use, Tombow glue, or your, you can use your Stampin' Seal if you'd like to. Whatever works best for you guys. These are nice, and there's the reason it's easier to use is it's just a dot. It's a very small object that we're gluing down, so it's easy to get it in there, basically just in that right spot there, as opposed to putting a lot of glue on it. All right, so here are 2 strawberries, and we are going to just set those like this, right there on our card. Right there in the middle, it's going to give it some beautiful dimension. So the first one I'm going to glue directly down. The second one I will put on dimensionals. So I'm just going to tuck it under there like we did the other. And then this one we're going to put on our dimensionals here. Oops, bring that down here. So I think I still have a couple little pieces here of dimensionals that we can use. There we go. And we will just pop this right on there. And then bring in all of our cards here that we made. That's so pretty. Oh, and then we got to do this too. Sorry, we need to attach it to our card base, right? That might make a little sense. Okay, there we go. And we could actually put it on this way if we wanted, or this way here. I'm just gonna stick with the front panel like that. And then we have our greeting, which I think I'm gonna have to use. I already have this one done. So I'm gonna put it right here on the edge, and we'll just, again, adhere that right to the card. And there you have it, guys. So let's move all this out of the way and show you our 5 fruit cards, kind of our flashback with the stamp sets here. So we have this one here that we just did with our strawberries. We have this one with the watermelon. This one that has the citrus. And then we have this one that's using the Darling Dino with our little box there. So those are all of our cards today. Again, all using that fruit salad paper that you can earn. And again, we just pulled in some old stamp sets that we have, which I think is awesome. Just gives us another way to use them. So if you have any questions, by all means, please don't hesitate to reach out, leave a comment. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe. Always appreciate that. And I think that is it. These pieces, so again, not this, you know, I can't send you stamped images, but I can send you the cardstock and the paper, the designer paper. So if you place a $30 or more order, then you will get the pieces you need to make these 3 cards. So that is being offered this week until Saturday. So hope you guys will take advantage of that. You don't need to put in any host code or anything. Just place your order, and then I will get the pieces out for these cards. Again, you'll get the cardstock base and the layers that you will need. And I will be able to give you the outlines of these images, but I can't give you the actual, the stamped image. So, but you will get these 3 cards plus a piece of the paper to make the 3D project as well. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Thanks for joining. Have a great night. Talk to you soon. Bye.